But I caution to also say that it is not too early to come up with a categorical statement as far as that is concerned. But these are the early indications.
Tapos na hindi ba? O pinafinance ba?
Hindi, pinapa-expedite. But ibig sabihin, may nakita na akong figures. And I don't see the 400 million figure in those reports. First allocation for Program 4, which is DHQ, is only 108. And issuances, only about 80 million. Which means na may balance pa, no? Balance of about close to 28 million pa pala.
Sir, verify ko lang. So that's about 100 pages na report. Yan yung initial nilagay na unang tama po ba?
This is already the report. No, I think what they're finishing right now is an executive summary kasi kapal-kapal eh. The 100 pages gives you all the background, etc. They also talk of the methodology, the people who were consulted, etc., etc. And then eventually they came out with the findings.
Did the committee think kung yung transgressions of the rules and regulations are tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pagka-transgress?
Walang conclusion with regards to that. But I think as far as this administration is concerned, which means starting July 10, there have been very strict guidelines that were given. So if not totally eliminated, I would say that this has been highly minimized.
Yung nagpa-powers na zero na, hindi na pwede mag-security.
Wala naman eh. These are recommendations. You'll have to lay down how you're going to do it first. There are specific guidelines which have to be laid down before you can execute this. Well, it's a concept. So this will be referred to the appropriate office to come up with the prescribed rules and regulations to be able to implement the recommendation. But if you're talking of timeliness of action, this is going to be facilitated and expedited.
That's subject to agency approval.
Yeah. And the reforms, especially because the officers are being elevated, But there's wisdom to the recommendation. And this has been discussed with the AFP. And I think to a large extent, the AFP concurs.
How about the budgetary requirements? What's elevated to the DND also? I mean,
what do you mean about budgetary requirements?
What do the DND to keep the AFP first? To keep the AFP first.
To keep
yung tera,
Hindi, ang kanya is to devolve, empower your people, let them be responsible, but exercise oversight and come up with regular reporting systems. That's the reason why part and parcel of the recommendation is to computerize and automate, so that you can have regular and accurate management, control, and information systems in place. And if that's computerized and automated, interconnectivity is affected, so that the different review and oversight offices immediately get the information and they get regular reports. So immediately red flags can be raised if and when there are certain variances with regards to, for example, the budgeted amounts for certain activities. Kasi specific naman yung mga programs you're supposed to have this funds for this. So kung may mga deviation, makikita ka agad kung regular talaga yung reporting mo. Of course, the automation and computerization would also allow for immediate recording of all these transactions at point of sales, kung baga sa civilian, point of sales, pag finance dun sa cash register, parang i-create a paper trail right away. This is the same thing that's going to be implemented in the
Sir,
AFP.
recommendations na ito, hindi lang mag-Undersecretary Jasmine or kailangan din ang tulong ng Pangulo para i-implement. Ito mga recommendation.
Well, these are systems within the Department of National Defense and specifically in the AFP. So the President is always informed about all of this.
Pero yung pag-epic kung sa Inspector General's Office po, when it comes to procurement, parang mawawalan na lang yung AFP power to purchase yung mga kailangan yan nila ang nagawa.
Hindi, yung Defense Acquisition Bureau, to a certain extent, I think when it comes to determination of requirements, coming up with technical specifications, this will remain with the legal services and the AFP. But when it comes to the procurement exercise itself, this will be elevated to the DND. Again, there will have to be certain levels of authority that will be determined. The existing levels of authority can remain or they may be changed. I'm not clear about what you're saying.
Out na sa sales na, di ba? Kayo ang gagawa sa DND dahil nasa inyo na.
Yeah.
Ako, AFP, kailangan ko ng reklamo, ng barcode. Ibibigay ko lang yung listahan sa inyo ng mga kailangan.
More than that, there is what we call now the defense system management that is being implemented. This would mean that there are already strategic considerations that come into the picture by way of coming up with the list. So it's not a matter of just coming up with the list, but determining a strategy and then determining the capabilities that you need to implement the strategies and therefore determining the required equipment that you need. Now, the procurement process itself will be elevated after the AFP has determined its needs and then come up with the technical specifications.
Assurance na hindi naman sa department magkakaroon ng pag ganun mangyayari. Kung may dedicate to procurement ng mga kailangan ng AFP,
hindi naman siguro. Of course, when you say that, it always depends on the people who are sitting there. That's why it's important that the people that are appointed have the integrity and the character. So you're saying that na hindi ako, walang don't put words in my mouth.
Can you say that some people will be definitely prosecuted? At even admitted, there were translations.
Meron lang ang sinailan ng cases eh. Hindi ba yung mga sinailan ng busa?
No, I mean, these investigations.
It could be the same cases plus, siguro. The minor personality siguro na unearthed by the committee, because as far as the major personalities are concerned, the killer is really Rabusa. He was there. He was right there. Meron din yata active eh. I don't know. Yeah.
Can you confirm that a very competent official by the name of Batac has been appointed to replace former Yusek?
What I know is that I've been appointed as OIC of the Office of the Undersecretary for Civil Reserve Civil Reserve Affairs. In addition to my duties as head of public affairs and spokesman. So dinagdagan lang ako ng trabaho. Civil Veterans and Reserve Affairs. Kaya pala yung iba.
When?
Effective April 15 na tayong August ka.
Take doon sa recommendation, so ma-urgent is, is the need to institute this change, the date sa committee. How urgent?
Well, the recommendations that I mentioned are very urgent, and they feel that this could have impact in the immediate term and the long term. So the committee has in fact ranked and given points to the different recommendations, and transfer of the oversight offices that I mentioned is high priority in terms of both short-term and long-term targets or objectives that need to be
Hindi ba sa outline of the
yun na yung sinabi ko.
Hindi pa
Yung ano? 10, oh. Okay, computerization. Hindi pa authorized na i-release ko eh. Hindi pa authorized na release. So, sige, I'll just enumerate, computerization and automation of the AP logistics and financial management systems, strict implementation of laws, that's number 2, laws and regulations. 3 is creation of Defense Acquisition Bureau or office to that effect. The transfer of OTIA, OSPA, OTT judge outside of the chain of command. OTIA, internal audit, OSPA, ethical standards, and then Inspector General and the Judge Advocate General outside of the chain of command. 5 is enhance and strengthen auditing and monitoring mechanisms, which will involve asset disclosure and the lifestyle checks. Shift, number 6 is shift from cash logistics to real logistics. This involves the cash advance system that has been abused. 7, continuing educational and morality enhancement program. 8 is audit of reuse of intelligence funds. 9, reconstruction of AFP financial and logistics documentation. And then the 10 is the implementation of the DSOM or Defense System of Management.
Paano yung kailan pa controversial nila yung offsite? Baka nang talaga nila yun kasi normally
well, they've got certain recommendations by which this can be done. And for example, without violating, for example, security requirements. Again. Well, wala pa yung mga wala yung specific guidelines. But what they're saying is even the intelligence fund can be audited. However, reporting can be done, for example, through executive sessions. That's how you can also maintain the considerations with regards to national security.
How about that? Yung reconstruction of AFP financial logistics documentation.
Well, this concerns what has been observed by the committee that documentation has been incomplete. Yeah, well, especially because, so for example, all these reported anomalies happened more than 5 years ago, and there's a general guideline that documents only have a shelf life of 5 years, beyond which these are disposed of.
Dito sa recommendation, is it that the given agency who's going to audit yung potential applicant? Or DND or AFP na rin?
Well, whoever is supposed to be auditing it. It could be COA itself.
So yung renovation ng mga officers ng AFP, does not require the law para may impartation, legislation?
If there's a need to come up with the law, but I think that's internal organization. It's only concerns an amendment on the structure of the AFP. So it could come by way of a department order. No, this will have to be studied. So there might be a need for legislation.
Pero kasi sa magkakaroon din sa Indian Bank ng pag na naging communication.
I don't know.
So parang may nagkakaroon.
Meron siguro, hindi lang natin alam kung...
Pero may assurance naman kayo na hindi mamatuto para tayo.
Yeah, that's why the committee itself has already said that has concluded that this can be audited, but the reporting can be by way of executive sessions. So limited pa rin, need to know pa rin yung